Yep, that's rock and roll when you're ready.
All right, let's get this started. All right. Hello and welcome back to Super Kingdom Hearts V 0.0 Final Mix HD featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Well, first things first, before we get to the game, we're going to deal with arguably a retcon, maybe, because I know talking with some of the players after last session and then going into maybe Valkyria Chronicles next session after this, there was some clarification that needed to be said. Nobody died on Atlantis. I know there were a lot of Mook squads that were getting hit and getting shot and all that stuff. I'm not going to say there wasn't some heavy stuff, such as, discussions of selling weapon, of war profiteering, and Fu got shot, but nobody died. I think I may or may not have said people died. I just used that as a generalization of their hit points hit zero. I think the only one I directly mentioned was Dread dying. But if I said people died, I apologize. That's not the tone I'm going for.
Okay. I think just be mindful of the language there.
Yes.
Because when you say you killed somebody, or you killed those guys, I'm like, oh. They're dead.
Yeah, that's fair. I understand. I didn't go back listen to the episode. I started to, and then I cracked up at the deep dive in TRing joke, which it chokes good when you crack up twice and your audience cracks up for like 3 minutes. So, I don't know if I said people died, but if I did, I meant that in an HP hit zero way, not as in people actually died.
Yeah, we're not doing the old Pokemon Nuzlocke kind of, oh my god, you just let small fluffy animals fight to the death for your amusement kind of way.
Yeah. Anyways, when last we left you guys, you had just finished Atlantis and you came home with the diamond. You arrived back on the base and things are going smoothly. Now you have some free time, but what's that? In the distance, I hear a train whistle. That's weird.
It's nice. It's nice when the GM goes all aboard the platform for the next section of railroading.
Because there is one thing that has not been answered because they didn't have time to. But at the end of your last downtime, a mysterious figure told Dread that to get the truth, or at least part of what's going on with their boss, he should look up something called Decom Station. I believe specifically Decom Station, Nevada. Yep. I forget.
No, it was Nevada, because that just anytime someone mentions Nevada to me now, I now have two core cortexes which flare up. I've got my Fallout New Vegas cortex, and I have my Neil Breen cortex.
Both of which are valid cortexes.
I now need some kind of mod or crossover where we can get Neil Breen in New Vegas. Or for Neil Breen to do a post-apocalyptic film. Either one would be good.
No, what you need to do is you need to play New Vegas, make your courier into Neil Breen, and then turn the Weird West mode on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Do some basic cheats to make yourself God mode because you're Neil Breen.
Yeah,
like low stats, but still God mode.
Yeah.
1 second.
But yeah, as far as that goes, I'm not entirely certain how... the problem with the Kingdom Hearts multiverse is, which Nevada am I supposed to be looking at here? The one from Dread Zone universe, or...
Nevada Prime.
Oh god.
The
expanded Nevada-verse.
Nevada 616. If you don't mind me pointing out, the
Crisis on Infinite Casinos.
No, I'm sorry. I started this. Oh.
Can't let God do all the work. But no, you are. You do know that the base, the fortress, has records. There's a library with both physical and electronic records that you have not looked into? Well, Bob went in there once, but that's about it.
Well, I've only been on 2 downtimes here, so
Yeah.
I visited the library.
Oh, you've been in. You missed you missed one downtime, and that's it. Actually, so you're not that far off of the curve.
Damn. Yeah, I suppose it would kind of make sense that Dredd would probably try and take the opportunity to chase up that lead if he hasn't got the opportunity to engage in volleyball or other other very much queer baity kind of side activities.
Unfortunately, no, not today. But
I don't know. Is the librarian hot? Ah, never mind.
the librarian is an old man.
But is the old
Is
man,
he a hot old man, or
This
is
is
he a
valid
silver
point.
fox?
I mean,
Are we talking Donald Sutherland here?
nah, he's a bit more of a bookish kind of guy. So, nah, he looks.
I mean, again, you gotta really kind of push the boat out here because I'm English. I'm used to kind of bookish older men.
it's pretty
No,
much,
I was
pretty
gonna
much
say-
all England puts out, honestly.
You're basically describing
Cheap
Anthony.
export.
You're basically describing Anthony Stewart Head at the moment, and I'm like, yep, still would.
No, he's Christopher Lloyd in the Page Master. That's what he looks like.
Ah,
Sorry to disappoint.
and there it goes. All right, fine. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose Dredd probably gets into his civvies for a while, just so he can relax and let his body armor breathe, to an extent. Which basically means he's wearing something that looks functionally identical, but is just made of a slightly lighter weight weave and plating. It's not as full on. It's not as full on Judge jammies, but it's more. It's more like a Judge leisure suit. Oh god, what the fuck am I even saying? Hello 2 a.m.
Lovely.
Hello 3 a.m. brain. I missed you. Yeah, I imagine is it like a desk, or is he just gonna knock, open up the door, and then just boot it open and demand answers? Then it'd be shushed.
I mean, you go inside, and there's stacks, and there's just this old man who is like, walking through with the little cart, going through, putting things up on shelves, taking things down, adjusting things.
Yeah, he just looks at the guy go by. Ray just goes, "Excuse me."
Oh, hello. You must be Mr. Dredd. Do you prefer Judge Dredd when you're in your relaxation? I just wish to be polite here.
Dredd is fine. Judge is on more active business.
Well, Dredd, how can I help you?
I've here to see if I can find any background on a particular location, although it's not entirely clear whether or not it's a specific world that this is part of, or something similar. Something called Decom Station, located in Nevada.
Well, our records go back. We only have records of things that the SEA has done up to its recent founding with Lady Znayak. There might be something before that, and then he goes over to a desk where he, waves his hand, and a little sci-fi, just projected screen comes up, and he starts typing.
I just like the idea of really messy stacks of paper documents, and then just a kind of Minority Report screen pops out of nowhere.
That's literally what it is. That's literally what you're saying.
The papers are just here for the aesthetic. This is actually, I've digitized everything.
Well, actually, we do have mostly. I personally write the hard records. I find hard copies a bit more reliable at times, especially for reasons like this. And he motions to the screen. And you can see that there are only digital copies of these records, but dang it, Ed. But yeah, it's like, it's like, there are only digital copies of these records. We do have a computer over on that side you can use to read them, if you so wish.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, if you have any more questions, I'm around. You have a good day with your research, sir.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
And with that, he gets up from his computer, the screen goes down, and he goes back to sorting the physical copies. And if you go over to the computer, and I assume you go and look up the records that I'm railroading you towards.
Yes. Sorry, I said yes. I've got a bit of a cough at the moment, if that's a reason why I'm spontaneously musing.
That's fine. I know that feel. So
I do as well. If I could give you a lozenge, I would right now.
No, it's fine. I got sent home from work because I had a cough. That was impressive.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of that way here too.
But yes. So you find looking through the records, and he gives you like the number of what to look for. You realize something really odd about these records. All the records are numbered. Like this is record 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. And it's all numbers. The record you're looking for is 876A. And then you're looking, you see 876B, C, D, going on for a little ways. It's all the same number, but with letters following it.
Dredge is going to mutter to himself. God damn. Interdimensional Dewey Decimal System. So it's the same bureaucratic mess up as when that one block had that breakout of non-Euclidean architecture, and we had to make 10 different addresses for every single apartment.
Oh no!
On the plus side, it cut down on overcrowding in that location by about 300%.
I'd watch a Lovecraftian Dread movie. I'll say that much at least.
I mean, that was what they were going to go for in the later ones.
But yes, so as you're looking and you're searching, you do hear a voice that says, there you are, Dread. I just got back from a mission, and you turn and there's Judge Anderson behind you.
Yeah. Oh, Anderson. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Didn't realize you were a record reader even on your off days.
Well, it's not all. The job's not all bike chases and shootouts. Sometimes you just gotta hit the books. Although this feels like the books are starting to hit back. Could you figure out this system? I am still currently a bit new to all of this.
Well, which one did he tell you to? Were you told to look for? Which one were you looking at?
He just shows her the piece of paper.
That says look for 876, but why A, B? She just reaches over and like puts her hand on top of yours on the mouse and just opens up the A file. And you see a report of an incident at a place known as Decom Station, Nevada. Report starts with a group of 9 people who were part of a science experiment in order to. They were using Earth to test if it would be possible to have people live in isolation for a long period of time, say on a Mars base. So they basically built this fake base in, this fake, planetary station in Nevada, and these 9 people were volunteered, were hired to basically live there for an extended period of time in order to see the social and psychological effects while being monitored in case anything terrible did happen. ...
Something terrible happened.
Something terrible did happen.
Okay.
Everything was...
How many people were eaten?
Nobody, actually.
Oh.
But they... basically what happened is suddenly something happened and they all passed out, and when they all woke up, they were in cells. A figure named Subject Zero in this thing, like, everybody's given code names. It's like, name Akane Kurashiki, Subject A, name Junpei and Timioji, Subject B, name, what was it, Carlos? Oh wow, he doesn't even have a last name. Okay. But yeah, like Carlos, Subject C, and just like these figures are all given code names. They are in these cells when the Subject Zero enters and says, "We are going to play a game." Addresses Subject C and says, "Call heads or tails on this coin. If you call it wrong, or if you call it right, I let you all go. If you call it wrong, we continue this game." Subject C calls the coin flip, calls it right. Everyone passes out again, wakes up outside of the station in the desert. It is there it mentions that subjects A, B, C, D, the 9 subjects then, quote, shift, see 85730 or 857 AD, and which point Zero then explains that Zero appears and explains that he did everything for the common good, and that he cannot get in trouble for what he did. He hands Subject C a gun and says, "If you think killing me is justice, go ahead and pull the trigger." And that's where the report ends.
Out of character, I appreciate you trying to explain the plot of Zero Escape Dilemma in any way that makes it sound remotely coherent. Good attempt.
You're not wrong.
I was going to say, I'm trying to work out precisely how much of the confusion on Dread's face could be apparent from just the brow of the nose down. As he just kind of reads all of this. And yeah, Ed, just what? And
Anderson is just as confused, but more expressive because she's not wearing a mask or a helmet.
Yes, she does not wear. She is dispensed from not wearing a helmet to allow her to both use her psychic powers and emote more. No, let's not try that. We will be here all fucking day.
That's season 2 of Interstitial, Nate.
Zach and I recently completed Eyeless Omnium Files. It was pretty great, but very incoherent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unlike Zero Escape, there isn't a canonical reason why people can move between timelines.
Yeah, I was expecting to see something of like why, but that didn't happen.
Nope.
I ended up pretty okay with that though. Like the overall plot line was more important than the parallel world mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was a very good game. I enjoyed. Me and my brother played it together. But yes, it always struck me as odd that they never explained how. From the developers of Zero Escape didn't explain how people were able to get information from different timelines.
Yep. Either way, the final dance number was 10 out of 10, but that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was.
But yeah, that's the end of file 857A.
Yeah, I suppose there's probably just like a beat, then what the fuck was that?
I mean, it was like nothing happened. They won a coin flip, and then a villain, some sort of bad guy, explained things.
Yes, but there's normally a lot more connective tissue between it. It would be very much along the lines of one of those old spy movies, going from, ah yes, Mr. Bunt, this is my diabolical plan for, oh, you've already slept with my assistant and disabled the laser. Like, it skipped a lot of the stuff that should be there to justify everything.
Maybe. She scrolls down and tries opening B. And she opens it, and it's heavily, heavily encrypted.
Okay, no, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. You are not keeping that shit from me. Dread is going to, yeah, I'll cast magic, if that's alright.
All right, go ahead and try.
So we're in with Mastery. Off to a great start with a pair of 2s, which gets me to a 5.
You do need that experience.
Yay! Yeah, Dredge like has some like probably fairly rudimentary but somewhat effective like judge issue data spike, which you can stick into systems to just brute force encryption, but it's probably not sophisticated enough for this.
That can't get into it. Then Anderson kind of like looks up and was like, me and a couple of others were over on Twilight Town, and we met this scientist lady. Like she had strange technology, but maybe she might be able to crack this.
I mean, that would require moving the files off site. Are you sure that's something we can pull off without a massive shitstorm?
I don't know, but it's worth a shot. If you want the truth, if we want the truth.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why I was pointed towards this and why this is so heavily encrypted. If this was so important to keep hidden, why even keep it on the system in an encrypted format? It's information that has to be here, but information that apparently needs to be very tightly controlled.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, I suppose. How am I going to get a copy of this out of here?
Anderson pulls out.
I'm trying to avoid the files are in the computer, and it just lifts up the whole desk and carries it out.
Anderson pulls out some sort of USB stick and is like, I mean, I know you couldn't crack it, but maybe you could copy it without anybody noticing. Or one of your teammates could. I don't know if we need their help on this.
Yeah, I think I know someone who might be up to the task. Just keep an eye on this, would you? See if anyone comes around poking around apart from me. I'll be back shortly.
Will do.
And yeah, Drew's gonna head off and see if he can find Bob.
Sure.
Where does Dredd find Bob, and is anybody else there?
Must acquire Bob.
I still don't know the layout enough to know other than library now.
There's a restaurant / bar. There's the office. There's some training room. It's nebulous because I'm basing it off of a building that I've never been to that doesn't have an office.
Sure, let's say catching a bite to eat then. Is anyone else gonna be joining Bob for a quick snack?
You know what? Navi will be there. Not so much eating as talking.
Getting back into the sci-fi versus magic thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Dredd, you find Navi and Bob having a nice meal served to them by Jill from Valhalla.
Oh. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
I may... Actually, both of your talents may actually be kind of useful in this. Bob, how are you in terms of decrypting data, as far as...
Pretty good. Depends on if it's what kind of encryption they're using.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I've got something similar myself I tried to use, but it definitely wasn't sophisticated enough. He kind of just grabs something at random and sits down over with Bob and Navi.
So what were you looking to that needs decrypting anyways?
Yeah, so
Is it really old? Most of the technology I'm aware of is really old.
it's not so much the age of it as much as it is where it is and potentially what kind of security clearance it requires. I had a lead which brought me to a selection of different reports on what appear to be alternate reports or supplementary reports, something along those lines, of a decom station in Nevada. There's apparently been some kind of operation that was run there. The problem is, everything apart from the first entry appears to be encrypted in such a way I can't access it. Typically, I wouldn't consider that to be too much of an issue, but I have a distinct feeling this is stuff that we should be aware of. And it may look suspicious if I just start going around asking for my security clearance to be bumped up so I can nose into more files.
We should try and decrypt it.
Is it files like things that we can just access like for better clearance, or is it more kind of older stuff that?
Oh no, it's all digitized.
I guess I'm saying is, did you ask the librarian if you could just help with that, or is it more something older files that they've picked up somewhere else kind of thing?
I mean, I'm not sure. As far as I'm aware, it was it was only digitized, but
Sure, I can take a look. That sounds pretty interesting. So, what kind of lead were you chasing, anyways?
I can't remember who put me on this. I can't remember which NPC actually put me on the direction of this.
Mysterious figure on the beach.
Yes, it was just a shady motherfucker on the beach, wasn't it? God damn.
Oh, I remember that, dude.
You just wanted to make sure you had it memorized. That's all.
Yeah, Dredd just shrugs and just goes, just some guy I met on the beach. Some guy who knew what was going on.
Sure, I can try and take a look.
Yeah, and he'll take him. He'll take it back over to the archives.
And I'll come watch and support.
Sure. So, what would it be to? I didn't quite hear the role. Was it push your stress or?
All right, so
What's the name of the librarian?
Joseph.
Joseph. I wanna try and make a connection with Joseph.
All right. While you're doing that, so are you actually going to try and decrypt the files, or are you just going to try and get them to the person that Anderson was saying could help you guys?
I'll see if I can decrypt it myself first.
See, I'm gonna go for a mastery.
All right, so I guess that would be use magic, since use magic has unlocked something.
Okay, give me a second. Let me pull out my the game book again. Oh wait, I can just.
Ooh, 10 plus my mastery of +1 is an 11.
Was mastery your highest or lowest stat?
It's my highest. It's tied
All
for my
right,
highest.
so
What's...
you both get a link on one another, and your link move triggers.
Does anyone have a mastery link with John?
Joseph.
Joseph.
I have a mastery link with him.
You do?
Everybody
Everyone
gets a
does.
mastery link with Joseph.
You get.
I'd like to create a dark link with Navi, please.
You're not the scene, dude.
No, go ahead. This is how I bring you two into the session.
Oh,
Now when you say Joseph, is this a Joestar?
No.
Fuck.
I got an 8, and I'm going to spend a link to reroll.
All right.
Give me a second. Nope. I don't know.
Yep. Keep on burning those links.
Yeah, I can refresh them all once I hit my 10.
Okay.
So give me a second. Let's see if I can.
You only refresh them all at once if you get a 10 on a locked link or on a link move.
Is it?
Yeah, it's when you roll 10 plus when you make a link. That's when you refresh all your locked links.
I must have remembered wrong. No. Oh yeah, lock of new links. You're right. Sorry, I forgot. I got the wrong thing. Oh well.
So have you hit a 10 plus yet?
Not yet. No. I spent 2 links and I'm still at 9.
All right. Do you want to spend another, or are you good with 9?
I'm spending one last one. See if I can get a bit better than this. There we go. 10. Yes.
Okay.
After
Oh.
spending 3 links.
All right, so I'm going to assume the magic opens something.
No unintended consequences.
Bypasses defenses, maybe, or
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Make sure the hack goes off without a hitch.
okay. So, you manage to open B, and you do kind of realize that there's still 20 something more files that you would have to individually hack because there so many different encryption keys. But you think they're easier to take away now if you wanted to get them offsite. You haven't read A, so you don't know what A was. So B starts the same and goes all the way up to the coin flip. They lose the coin flip, and then they are put into separate teams. At which point, this evil zero figure basically says, "All right, then, each of you nominate another team that's going to die." And then they use a dog to communicate through the vents. Which leads to them being like, okay, if we all vote for one team and not the other team, then we get a tie vote, nobody dies. So they do that. And then they wake up and they have these weird boxes, and they open them up with passwords, and they don't know where they got the passwords from, but they open them with passwords, and then turns out that they're all actually in the same room but at different times because their watches aren't synced, and then they set off a self-destruct which causes them to travel to another timeline, apparently. Or sorry, it doesn't say that. It says it causes them to shift altogether with their combined psychic power.
What
And
the
then
hell are you looking at, Dread? This
and
does
then
not make a lick of sense.
And then the base blows up, and that's where the report ends.
Dread, what are you looking to? This is sounding like nonsense here.
Dread just kind of, as he finishes reading that, just gently takes his helmet and slowly rotates it 180 degrees so it's now completely obscuring his face. And there's just a very muffled, "That hurt to
Screams
read."
into and screams into the back of his helmet.
It probably does, actually. Then just slowly turns it back around.
Judge Dredd, how many laws is this breaking?
Not
Is it all of them?
Not enough. Have I just logged into someone's heavily encrypted Saw fanfiction?
If you played Zero Escape, you're not far off. Just throw in some psychics.
Basically, yes. I'm not sure who's got the more fucking convoluted and bullshit plotline at this point.
So it's like Saw, but with The Shining. Okay.
I don't think I want to drag The Shining into this.
I mean, child psychics that add.
Eh.
You're not too far off. Maybe not full on extra dimensional horror like King gets into, but
Dr. Sleep goes some places.
yeah.
I've heard that Doctor Sleep is a better X-Men movie than the New Mutants, which tickles me hugely.
Is
To
the
be fair,
out?
X3 is a better.
I was going to say, apparently the New Mutants is actually out in selected theatres, and it's been absolutely fucking shit-canned.
Really?
Mhm.
That's a shame. I was actually really, really excited about it.
Yeah, same. I think the problem is it had the same mutilated by the studio problem that Suicide Squad had. So they took a competent movie and just killed it in reshoots.
You'd think that studios
Would
stop.
learn? Would
Yeah.
do smart decisions? No.
Yeah.
That's
They
not how
are
it
fueled
works.
they are fueled by cocaine, sexual harassment, and poor life choices.
Mm-hmm.
It's also them always saying test it on the test audience and always averaging it out so it turns out weird.
I mean, let's not also forget that it was literally in production when the Disney merger went through, so they probably just cut whatever budget they had and said, just finish it and we're done. Doesn't matter. It's not going to be part of the MCU. Nobody cares.
One of these days we're going to get our properties to be half fucking decent, but until that point...
Also, yeah, companies are terrible because they especially technology companies who don't understand how to make a functional user interface. So SoundCloud is what I use to upload my podcast. And they used to have these nice little bar graphs that would like be color coded and would show you like how many of each episode has been downloaded this week. Based on color coding, and it'll give you your top 5 episodes. It'll give you like nice solid numbers. And now it's a fucking curve. It's like a waveform.
Why? What?
Because it's not stats anymore. It's impressions.
Okay. So how did it calculate these impressions for you?
Oh, it's based on the same data. It just gives you your total listens on a given day, and then puts a nice round curve on it instead of hard stats and grid lines and things that make it easy to tell what the day is at a glance.
Oh man, so this reminds me of something that came down at work this week, where I'm not supposed to call cashiers anymore. They're now service ambassadors. Is the terminology they want me using.
Service, like they're gonna be walking around eating fucking like chocolates full of coconut at a fucking ball.
Service ambassadors?
Yeah.
I used to be my job title used to be brand ambassador, but at the very least I was representing various brands, which kind of made sense. A cashier takes your fucking money.
At least call them sales associate or something that makes sense. So that just sounds.
It's like how I'm surprised that they did this now and not back when they changed my title from shift supervisor to shift leader. Because if they were going to do this, they should have done it then. It's weird. Reddit's going through a rebranding, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Ugh.
You know how I feel about it? Bleep is how I feel about that. Just one very long bleep.
Oh man,
That's
look at those
not
curves.
useful. That is not useful at all.
You know what's really important when it comes to charting out data? Aesthetics. Look at that subtle gradient.
That is.
Let's be real.
That is one very lopsided boob.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, but also instead of giving me, the ability to like take a range of dates and see the data between them, I have the option of 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, and 1 year, and all time.
I think you need to find the person responsible for that and fucking suplex them. That is.
I think it's probably knowing how they do so much things of where they use the device that this is probably the license for the old graph creating software is too expensive, so they went for the cheaper free version of some other sites.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, it is 0, 15, 30, and it's not like 0, 15, 32, 85, and it's just a string of fucking nonsensical number differences.
Yeah, well, the actual like they still have the old an old blog on how to use stats, and they show what the old interface looked like. So it's like the second image in that article, and look at how much better that is.
That's so nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's functional. Yeah, I can tell what it means at a glance.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been going through their help section and downvoting all of their impressions pages because they didn't help me get rid of impressions.
They only give you a bad impression.
Good one. Anyways.
Alternatively, this is a pregnant woman laying down.
Also valid.
You're looking too much into this, Nate.
Anyways, let's keep the plot going forward.
Ooh, actually, it's someone currently diving. Actually, like they're diving underwater.
So you have A and B, but not C through AD.
You know what? You know what? I'm good. I don't need to know. Clearly, this man simply wanted me to waste my fucking time.
It seems like they've changed. Each one has their own individual encryption key, so it's gonna be a while if you want to try and decrypt these one at a time. I'm not sure if this is worth the effort. This first one took a little while, and it's giving us nonsense back unless it's somehow double encrypted and we have to unlock them all and combine them for some better information.
Yeah. He just kind of looks between the two of them. Are there any? I don't think there were any names listed apart from like the ones in the first test trial.
I mean, those ones in the first test tower were carried over. It's all the same names.
That's fair enough.
Um,
Are there
Should
any
we
kind of
look into seeing if there's any information on these people?
I suppose that would help us narrow it down to at least a world. Although I'm not sure if we're going to have that kind of information here.
I'll go ask the help desk. What's the name of some of the people?
I'm pretty sure we can get connected to the outside database. Give me a second.
and Anderson does once again offer, like, I do have a science lady who can help us if you really need it. Like, she might be able to figure all this stupid science bullshit out.
Where does she live, anyways?
Twilight Town.
But aren't these all confidential?
I mean, yes, that's why I had Bob break the encryption on that file.
But if we don't have clearance, we're already breaking the rules on this one.
Yes, but
Wait, we don't have clearance?
But someone on the outside was already aware of what was happening in here, so gives me the impression that if this information is already in circulation outside of the agency, that means it's already compromised. Or at the very least, someone already knows what's in here. Okay, Anderson, you say you got this. You say you know someone who might be able to put some context to all of this. Cool. Let's see if we can talk with her.
All right. What type of link, Richard? Anderson does say Bob if you could download the files.
No problem. Okay.
By the way, what did...
I was going to use a mastery link, and I rolled a 10.
And
So-
How's the roll for a dark link with Navi
oh yeah,
earlier?
how did that go, by the way? Also, sorry, what were you saying, John?
Oh, were you asking about that dark link I was making?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 10 plus. I turned it into more distance.
Okay.
By the way, I'm just going to spend one of my unspent lock links to lock my link with Joseph, and everyone's lock links reactivate.
Yeah, so everyone's locked links are working again, and that was what type was it?
Mastery.
Mastery. I believe that's your lowest stat.
Yep, I already marked experience.
Sweet. All right, so, and Anderson now has a mastery link with you too.
Ah, dang it. It doesn't work backwards. Since I have one that's a mastery with Anderson, I can't use that.
All right, so Bob gets the files downloaded, and you guys heading out to Twilight Town.
I'll check in to see if Fu and keep on forgetting
Tsukasa.
Tsukasa. I keep on only Decade comes to mind. Tsukasa want to come along.
Oh yay! But yeah, Fu, Sukasa, wherever you are, Bob approaches you.
So I would assume that Fu is like in whatever our medical hospital area is getting treated for a bullet wound.
Yeah, she was being treated for that, and then she spent the rest of the time in Cypher's room,
Okay.
just hoping he'll wake up.
Yeah, some time has passed now, so all your harm is healed. By the way, so
Yeah. So she is found with bandages around her torso, but also she is sitting solemnly in Cypher's room.
is Sukasa there currently?
Sukasa is brooding slightly outside of Cypher's room.
Bob, you find Sukasa in the hallway of the hospital area.
Hey, so how's food doing?
They bandaged her up. She's just, staying with her friend.
Do you think she'll be up to going on a small info gathering session? Dred's chasing down some leads with some led to some weirdly encrypted files. So we're seeing someone who can help get that information there.
Um, uh, Tsukasa will just knock on the door because he doesn't want to actually speak for Fu.
She looks up from where she's sitting. Tilts her head. And then we'll walk over and just like kind of wait on some information.
Hey Fu, Dred found some information and is chasing down a lead, and seems like we need to talk to a science person lady and scientist in Charlottetown to help get decrypted information there. It's something to do with people in alternate timelines or something like that. Kind of doesn't make much sense, but it's something that we're looking. Do you want to come along?
She shrugs and then winces, and goes, "Not awake yet. I can come."
They had the medical staff haven't been able to diagnose or find anything that could help.
She shakes her head. All I know, his heart was too bathed in darkness. Now he won't wake. But yeah, she'll go along.
Is Sebastian gonna come too?
Yeah. Tsukasa's not gonna say anything, but he's definitely following you.
Okay. Okay.
Let me see here. I'm gonna roll a move. Here.
Also, I share the first two files that we've unlocked. So this is kind of information we have so far.
So, what are you doing, Nate?
I'm doing the convince someone move.
Gonna convince John to come with you.
No, Sukasa will totally get an experience point if he hugs Fu because she looks like she really needs one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He'll do that.
That's what will motivate him into being social. Experience points. Like she pauses, like presses her forehead into his chest and just kind of like stays there for a moment. Takes a deep breath, step back. Thank you.
Yeah. And Sukasa will say that's fine. Don't worry about it.
She nods a little, and then we'll follow along with Bob and get a very in-depth description of some shenanigans.
Okay. So when Tsukasa reads the shenanigans, I'm actually gonna use my power, my move World of Art.
Oh, right. This is a fun one.
Okay, so I got a 7.
I'm unfamiliar with this move.
It's the hunted move. When you cast your mind outward to sense other worlds, roll with heart. On a hit, ask one question. Is blank in this world? What world did blank last enter? What's the closest world to this one?
Yeah. So because it seems like this subject 0 seems very important, I want to know what world did subject 0 last enter?
Hmm. Subject 0, you get the sense that whatever world that this happened on, subject 0 never left that world. That was the last world he was at.
Okay. Interesting. Well, that's my one question. Can I tell from that casting out? Could I like theoretically navigate to that world with a gummy ship now?
I'll say, yeah, you could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Tsukasa will say, if looking into this doesn't work out, we could always just go to the world where this happened and see if we can find anything out there.
That could help.
Do you know where it was?
I've got some idea.
I assume we got close enough to Dreaded and Navigator they can also be part of this conversation now, or
Yeah, at this point, everybody's in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at this one first and see what we're dealing with. Might hopefully it's more nothing too crazy, but knowing our luck, probably will be.
Expect craziness.
As long as there's not too much traveling to different timelines and ultimate versus stuff.
Timelines.
As long as you don't have to start meeting alternate versions of yourself, we're okay. That was really convenient.
Sorry, I had to stay muted there. My quarter to 4 hell train was running outside, which always sounds like a demon screaming by.
That sounds pretty
Fun
metal.
times.
Just this horrific metallic noise. It's like, fuck me, Silent Hill could just punch through my window and I'd be like, oh, you're here. Hi.
No, that's Interstitial Season 2.
Interstitial Season 2, Pyramid Head's thick ass.
Mm-hmm. Still sad they nerfed that in Dead by Daylight. That's neither here nor there.
Fucking cowards.
Who? What?
Yeah, they added Silent Hill in Dead by Daylight, and Pyramid Head is the killer, but they nerfed his fat ass.
Oh, that's a shame.
Like when he first showed up, he had it just fucking caked up to the nines, and then they shrank it.
Cakes upon cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking cake boss back there. It was fucking insulting.
Insulting? I don't know if I was insulted by that.
Well, it kind of subverts the whole point of the game in that if you're sneaking up behind the fucking killer.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, are we now we have the gang together? We're gonna head over to Night Town, Twilight Town. Nearly said Twink Town. No, different place. To chat with the scientist.
What's the purpose?
That is an excellent question.
We'll know it when we see or hear it.
Actually,
You do know the person said that this has to do with apparently your boss did some messed up stuff, Lady Zanayak.
Oh, okay.
Worrisome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully willing. I'm willing to accept that sometimes the rules have to be bent in order to get the job done. But there's a lot of scope in this line of work for crossing serious boundaries and, well, basically becoming more of a problem than you could ever try and solve. So, since this does seem to be in some way related to experimentations on people, and by the sound of it, some kind of either a bunch of abstracts for different experiments, or each of these was run on the same people, but without their prior knowledge of each independent. Shit is fucking confusing. I need someone to brain this for me.
yeah, looks like parallel universe time travel. Maybe they're trying to get something so they could ensure 100% success, even if it takes you multiple tries.
Maybe not. I don't know. All I know is if the agency is involved in this, we need to figure out precisely to what extent and precisely what it means for us.
Well, hopefully Genevieve can figure that out.
Yeah.
Does Fu recognize the name Genevieve at all?
No.
Okay.
Does anyone recognize it?
I mean, I'm going to tell you it's not from any of your worlds. So if you know a Genevieve, it's not the Genevieve I'm thinking.
This
No, I was just wondering because they said they were going to Twilight Town.
Yeah, no. This is my crazy crossover Twilight Town. Anderson does explain on the flight over that who Genevieve is actually. Apparently on her home world, she was a steampunk scientist. And
Steampunk?
Apparently it's some sort of aesthetic thing using early industrial technology with steam power rather than advancing past that. A little bit of electricity too, like early electricity, but
Sounds stupid.
yes, but that was the world she was from. And she does look at red. I will admit she is a little ethically challenged. She did try to destroy a vampire queen by making a giant robot and destroyed half of London in the process.
Why?
Be-
Punk?
Oh, I thought you were asking why she tried to destroy half of London. It was her son was kidnapped. Anyways, I don't know. It's what people call it. I don't get it.
Understand Steam, but punk?
It's part of the whole corruption of the punk aesthetic in a way that used to be kind of coined with cyberpunk, which also incorporated a few countercultural elements in with the aesthetic of, you know, classical 70s punk iconography, as well as the fusion of transhumanist ideals. And then it kind of branched out from there into steampunk, diesel punk, biopunk, and a bunch of other things, all of which didn't necessarily toe the same line, although some do. By and large, they are mostly there just to kind of co-opt the aesthetics of previous generations or other kind of looks or feels from, say, horror media or other things like that. What I'm basically saying is a lot of steampunk is just fucking posers in brass outfits.
What he said.
She nods because now she understands.
Because, like, real talk, I would fucking love a steampunk story which is also a fierce critique of colonialism, and yet I have never found a story like that.
You to make
Phil
it.
actually gives a firm nod to that. Because she understands exactly what you're talking about now. And then just says, disciplinary committee targets fashion disasters.
I didn't realize that fell within your jurisdiction.
She punches her lightly punches her palm.
Like, I know Mega City 1 trolled the fashion police for a while, but it just... the war on corduroy cannot be won.
She remembers a time when herself, Rye, Cypher, and Vivi off to the side bullied some people dressing stupidly. And it was a fun time.
Says the Nomura character.
Yeah.
What about it?
They're all all of the designs of Fu, Rai, Cypher, and Vivi in Twilight Town. Sensible. Actually sensible.
I may be covered in gears for no apparent reason, but at least I don't have like 20 different kinds of zippers for no apparent reason.
What?
Fu would just point at herself and note, one zipper.
Why are JRPG characters shouting at each other over bad fashion choices? Pot, kettle, both of you are wearing 20 belts. Stop it.
All of the clothing I make have buttons
Nah, son. Look at this.
for eyes.
She has a single zipper. She has no belts. Her only fashion faux pas is that she's wearing
Fucking Crocs.
she's wearing Crocs. That's her only faux pas.
Although, to be fair with Fu, they're probably still toe cap Crocs.
Yeah, probably.
And hang on a second, are those fucking cargo shorts?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I think from the waist down, this is a fashion crime.
You can carry so much stuff in those.
I mean, they're below the knee, which is semi-acceptable, but they're also, like, tapered below the knee. No.
But like, again, also, may I point out another member of the disciplinary committee who also wearing sensible clothes.
Also, they're olive. Also, I would just like to point out, blue
Look.
and olive drab. Oh no, that's just fucking fresh.
Yeah, this motherfucker right here is here to play some ball.
That man is on maximum drip. It's fucking. Oh my god.
He doesn't know what ball he's here to play, but he's here to play some ball, you know. The only one, the only person of the original disciplinary committee that has questionable style choices is Cypher himself.
You must lead by example, and by example I mean a terrible warning. Oh dear fucking Christ, the Backstreet Boys want their wardrobe back.
Now, but it is also worth pointing out, one zipper, one belt.
Okay, look, sleeveless greatcoat with too small vest and a beanie, and then what look like high-top sneakers made for someone 5 sizes larger than him, and parachute pants. It hurts me to look at it, and yet it kind of works. Like it's such an all-out visual assault. I guess I kind of have no choice but to accept it, or just watch my eyes roll out my fucking skull in protest.
Yeah, that's Cypher for you.
Yeah, Rye straight up just looks like he'd be right at home in like a Def Jam Fight for New York kind of game.
Yes.
But Sifa just, oh fuck, that's so late 90s, early noughties, and it makes me want to cry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm not saying I want it that way, but
his design and his original design. I do appreciate when a male character decides that he is in fact going to rock a crop top of some kind.
Thank you, Ed.
Got the Janko jeans for you, bud.
Good.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Also, I respect the decision too, Nate. I will be with you on that one.
It's like props on that one.
You're like, what is it? That one asshole from The World Ends With You. I just want to poke his like hip bones.
Which one? They are very weird
You
design.
mean beat?
Now-
I think I forget which one. It's been a
Now,
while.
admittedly, Vivi looks a little outlandish, but also adorable.
It's
Vivi's
also just
he's also Vivi, and there's like it's Vivi. What do you want? He's cute as hell.
He was my favorite black mage from my childhood.
it's literally a 1-to-1 transplant of Vivi from 9. Like
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's great.
Anyways, let's continue with the plot, so we don't have to have 2 sessions of downtime.
Oh, we're so derailing this session,
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, so you reach Twilight Town, and Anderson starts guiding you through the city streets. Dread, you do notice that Anderson does look a little jumpy today, though. As she's walking you through, you all of you kind of notice it actually as you're walking through the city. She seems a little paranoid at times. But are those like corduroy sweats?
I'm not sure if they're cord or just like.
I
Oh no,
hate
yeah,
it.
no, they are cord. They are corduroy. They're stretch fit corduroy 3/4 lengths. Ed, you
Wow.
monster. I mean, I know you didn't design those, but you're a monster for bringing them to my attention. Also, the color coordinated socks, and then black.
Oh,
long
I just
sleeve
noticed
with
the
white
socks. Like
sneakers.
that's it. That's it for me.
Mm,
Like the socks, I'm done. I'm out. Like I was able to stomach this until you pointed out the socks.
Ugh.
I think I have now found a worse combination than socks and sandals, which is color coordinating your socks with your trousers.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But color coordinating it with nothing else, because like I wear black socks, black shoes. I wear
And
white
then,
socks, white
and then
shoes.
and then the cheeky peek of flesh between the sock and the 3/4 length, just to kind of really fuck with you.
Yeah, I think that's the worst one. Yeah, if it was more continuous, it wouldn't be as bad. But that extra little peak there,
I don't like it, man.
I like
I
to
don't know why
imagine
you're
that-
doing this.
I imagine like
What-
just as characters we're walking through Twilight Town and we're just seeing these fashion disasters walk by.
As Anderson's like out of nowhere, just putting her fist through a trash can because she's paranoid.
Anderson, are you all right? Do you need a moment?
No, it's. Last time I was here, there were some guys that were, look, Genevieve. When I met her, when I was here, she was being confronted by some like loan shark people, some gangsters, and I got into a fight with them and their leader. I think he has it out for me. He's just been attacking me out of nowhere. It's like he's everywhere and anywhere. And
Oh.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, do you want to operate the rest of the way there?
no, it's fine. We're almost there, anyways.
Operate?
Operate operationally.
Are we causing Yakuza in here as well?
Go full tactically. But no, we're almost there. It'll be fine.
No, you just got to nudge his food and goes, oh, there's nothing quite like being half cut and clearing your house room by room in nothing but your boxer shorts and a shotgun. Yeah. To be fair, that's why I'm asked not to babysit anymore.
There's squints her eye at him. It just says, "What?"
The painkillers are kicking in. Good. How was the bullet wound, by the way?
Fine.
Good. All right, well, yeah. We'll keep our eyes
She
out.
says and then winces.
Yeah, not so much that he believes Fu, but simply that Fu is not making a deal of it. So Trader's going to respect that and not push it any further.
Hey Fu, if you try to cut down some more tall grass, maybe you can find some heart containers that'll help you. Good luck.
She just furrows her brow, frowns a little. Already full of hearts.
I think I can see the general store coming out. You can get a potion. That helps.
I mean, she's at full health. It's just roleplay at this point.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
I know.
She's just being a baby about it. What do you want?
Navi's role playing too.
Yeah. No, that's legit. But yeah, she's still in pain. She's healed up. It's just she got shot. It hurts. She's never been shot before. But she is way too prideful to make a big deal out of it. Even if she does wince every other step.
Fu, roll convince somebody to get Tsukasa to carry you.
Now, if Tsukasa does offer to carry her, she will accept this offer.
Yeah, probably. If she's making a real big deal of it.
She's she's trying to maintain her pride, but she's in a lot of pain.
It's like walking after twisting your ankle. It's like you can kind of do it. It just hurts every other step.
Yeah. So does Tsukasa offer then?
Hold on, I need to decide whether Tsukasa offers or just picks her up. I feel like Tsukasa is not the offering type. I feel like he just bends down and picks her up in a princess carry.
She lets out a little eep and then like glares at him a little, but then stops glaring and just kind of rests her head on her shoulder.
I was just gonna hope he was just gonna pick her up in like a full body press.
Ah.
Just lift her above his head like a pizza.
But to do an airplane spin and just
And then just dump her in a trash can upside down.
That's I don't know if like I don't know about you, but that's how I that's how I romanced Manda.
Just
Like,
a no-
it worked. It's worked for me, so I don't know, man.
Hey, look, man, it's a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.
Yeah,
uh,
but yeah, she just kind of leans into his shoulder then, and accepts this. Doesn't say anything about it. Doesn't make a big deal of it. Just relaxes. Everyone finds themselves disgusted at how cute they are.
with that resolved, you keep on pushing through the city until finally you reach a fairly normal looking building, except the door on the front is like a big metal shutter, like out of some sci-fi movie. Anderson walks up and hits the doorbell. Nothing happens. Anderson hits the doorbell again. Nothing happens.
I got this, Anderson. And Navi's gonna run up and just repeatedly, like, slam her fists into the doorbell.
Like is it repeatedly, or do you just like push your whole body into the doorbell?
Just fly up to the doorbell and then slamming fists to trigger it multiple times rapidly.
You go fist of the North Star on it.
Anyways, so
You're already wrong. Oh my god, now I just need to get I need a doorbell that just goes Nani when I ring it.
All right, so after harassing the doorbell for a bit,
do we shut out the doorbell or did she finally answered it?
She does finally answer it. What happens is like a speakeasy, a little tiny slider opens and there's a pair of eyes. That peeks out, and it's like, "What do you guys want? I'm busy." And Anderson looks a little surprised, and it's like, "You're not." I'm Judge Anderson. I'm friends with Genevieve. Is she here? No, she's not. What do you guys need? Well, we have some files we want to decrypt, computer files. We were hoping she could. She couldn't do anything with that. Come on in, and like, door shutters, a couple more buttons, and the door to the place opens, and you look, and you are in a science lab, and standing in the center of it is this woman.
Oh
no. And I mean that in a kind of oh no the character, and also oh no awkward boner.
So, what's your name?
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. My name is Olivia Octavius. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Can I call you Olive?
You can call me Liv.
Okay, I'll call you Liv.
Do you know where when Genevieve will be back?
I'm not sure. She had some business to take care of back on her home world.
Oh,
Yeah, but-
okay.
I can help you. I'm more the computer person, anyways. Of the two of us.
Are you from the same world as her?
Oh no. We're from different worlds, and we both happened to come here around the same time and meet up, and now we're partners.
Oh,
So-
okay.
who
Let's see.
pours one out for the world order.
Just solemnly walks outside again with a 40 and just empties it onto the curb.
Okay, I'm deep diving. This is a different person there.
All right, go ahead and roll that deep dive plus heart.
11.
So you get 3 questions.
Okay, my first question is it's saying, is she actually friends with Genevieve, or did she kind of disappear them and pretending to be a friend to get these files or something like that? Kind of.
No, they are science partners, and they're also science lesbians.
Ah, lesbians.
Okay. I guess my second question is that was my big question, to make sure it's like used and up and up there. You guys have any ideas for other questions you can ask?
Well, the thing was, I was gonna ask, is this like, is she actually a friend, or is this woman tied up in a closet? And now you've answered that, I'm like, she could still be tied up in a closet, just in a different context.
Yeah.
Question 2, no, Genevieve is not here.
Okay.
So,
my
mind
second-
gutter remove.
Question 3, I guess, is saying, would she try and use this information maliciously, I guess? I guess
No, I got you. I'm just thinking of the answer to that question.
I'm trying to think of how to say it, kind of. That's kind of the best way I can think of saying how. It's being a bit biased, but
I would say,
You're supposed to use this knowledge for evil.
yeah. No, here's what I'll say. I don't know about necessarily evil, but
she's a mad scientist.
Ethically questionable science.
Yeah, the pursuit of knowledge, ethics slows it down.
Exactly. Spoiler alert for the Spider-Verse, but she was going to watch Boomer Parker just explode.
That's a bit fucking harsh. He's not quite Boomer. He's like Gen X.
Fair, but like that was always the jokes when the movie came out. Ah, Peter B. Parker. The B stands for Boomer.
Oof.
I didn't hear that one, but. Huh. Okay.
Oh, well. You seem like a perfectly respectable member of the scientific community. I'm sure we can trust you. Says Dredd, completely not understanding any of this.
Having not deep dived himself.
Yep.
I mean, Navi's right there with you.
No thoughts, helmet empty.
She thinks Liv is a great person.
I mean, look at that hair.
Look at that colorful
Make
sweater.
a link with her then, if you think she's a great person.
Yeah, make a link.
Don't encourage
Do
Navi
it.
to do that. They'll end up making another link for you as well.
Well,
No,
I need one of you to make a link
You
first.
make a
Dread, make a link.
All right,
Yeah.
fine, fine.
Get that experience, and it's a light link, so that's one of your shit stats. So you get next free experience for that.
And I'm
My
gonna make
God,
a
my
light
God.
link afterward.
I've actually got XP. I've actually got enough for an advance. What the fuck is this feeling? For the first time in, I think, 10 sessions.
Did you actually end up looking back at your old recording to try and make sure you?
I did genuinely look back, and no, I am pretty much bang up to date in terms of XP.
Wow.
I have literally just not rolled much, and whenever I've rolled, it's either been a partial success or a full success.
That's so odd for you.
It's because I wasn't making links. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I get a 6.
One moment.
Look up this thing I got.
Actually, no, hang a second. No, like... So, hang on a second. Because Wait, do I declare what the link is? Do I declare what stat I'm rolling with, or what? No, that's... Well, I got very fucking confused there for a second.
Okay, so what type of relationship do you want with her? Light links are positive friendships. Dark links are rivalries and enemies. Mastery is wanting to teach from or learn. from, like wanting to teach or wanting to learn from. And heart is I learned it by watching you, Dad. It's learning without being taught. It's you have opinions about them and their behavior.
Probably mastery.
Mm.
In which case, that wouldn't be a 6. That would be a 8.
Also, you don't get that free experience.
And I don't get that free experience.
I'll go mastery too, since she seems like a smart science lady, which would bring that from. Let's see. I had rolled a 8, so that's going to be a 9.
My I will attempt to make a link, but only if she has a comfy. If there was a comfy chair to sit in, and she offers tea.
Oh, but I want my move to trigger. I'm gonna expend a link on this to re-roll a die. I'm gonna re-roll that 3. Okay, an 11.
So everybody gets a mastery link.
Mm-hmm. With Olivia.
All right, everybody now has a mastery link with Olivia Octavius.
All right, I'm going to spend that, and I'm going to spend the link with Joseph to gain an experience point.
All right then. And don't worry, you can change the link later, Nate. But
does she does she in fact have a comfy chair to sit on, and also does she serve tea?
she hasn't yet. So what are you guys here for actually? What do you need Genevieve to do?
We need to get these decoded. And Navi will present the, I don't know, is it
Flash drive or whatever.
Flash drive,
Flash
yes.
drive, yeah.
Just over arms, up in the air, the full, you got it.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liv takes it and looks at it and is like, well, I don't know how these files are, so I can't give you an exact estimate, but I'll go over to my part of the lab. You know what? Why don't I take you to Genevieve's little half of the lab here? And she takes you to another room, and inside it's all steampunk aesthetic, but like steampunk aesthetic, but that isn't brown. Because god damn it, they actually started getting some good dyes in the Victorian era. We're going to use them. There's purples and blues, and sure there's a lot of copper piping, but the place looks very artistic.
Oh, look! It's arsenic green!
Third favorite color. No. Fifth.
Oh yeah, the tangiest flavor.
Also known as Shields green, apparently.
But yeah, so there are some. Yeah, she's like, go ahead, take a seat, and like there are some very nice, old style couches, and she runs over and turns on a device, and yeah, this thing will serve you some tea when it's ready. I'm gonna go over to my place, and
Okay. In that case, I'll go ahead and make a light link.
all right, roll them bones.
If it's your best one, you get a +1, don't you?
Yes.
In that case, I get a locked link, so I get a 10.
All right, so Olivia has a link with you. You have a link with Olivia.
I think, yeah, also the other ways people make other colors are just really odd.
So that's a mastery with Navi. Light with Fu. And it's locked on your end. All right. So, yeah, you just kind of sit there for a moment. The tea does get made and served through fancy automaton hands.
Excellent. She could use some tea.
It's very nice tea, very well done, actually.
She almost smiles a little. She's so close to doing that.
But yeah, so you relax and some time passes. And some time passes. And some time passes. Before finally she comes back in and she's like, I don't know where you got that, and I don't know if I want to know, but pardon my friend, pardon my language.
Would this be any variation on what the fuck was that?
Close. I was gonna say it's some heavy shit.
That too.
Does it actually make more sense? The ones we got so far were just sounding.
The Nixie tubes said that. Oh, you're not talking about the tea. Okay.
So each of these different files is actually from. I don't know if you guys understand the multiverse theory, but even beyond there being worlds other than these, there are also alternate timelines, and those alternate timelines are nigh infinite because of she starts rambling about basic butterfly effect and that sort of thing. Just like simple fact is these are all different timelines where minor things changed. At one point, it literally is. There's a game of Russian roulette in the middle of this where literally there's two timelines, one where the Russian roulette round, the next in the chamber was live or not. That's how specific these things are.
Fu holds up a hand.
Yes. You there with the lovely shade of hair.
What if no one has observed the result yet?
I mean, that's an excellent question, but it seems that all of these results have been observed. Whether we were there or... Well, I wasn't there, so I haven't seen it, but these results...
I meant in general.
Oh, well, in that case, theoretically. And starts rambling about, other things.
Just pulls up a piece of paper and lightly throws it at Liv just to kind of get her back on track again.
Oh, right. Sorry, thank you. Okay. So, the thing is, there are some shorter files, there are longer files. The shortest is that first one where they win the coin flip and then things just go on as normal. Some end very suddenly with the deaths of some people. Some just are doomed timelines where people leave that timeline and there's nothing left there. And, keeps going through.
Leave that timeline.
Yes.
They can move between the timelines?
Well, it seems that there are two things. This shift thing is psychic transmission. It is the transmission of the consciousness to another timeline. So, say if I may use you as an example again, Miss Fu, was it? Fu.
She nods.
If I can use you as an example, let's say that I grabbed the crumple paper. I threw this ball at Fu. And then she instead turns and throws it and hits Dredd in the head. With the crumpled ball of paper. Now, he didn't see that coming, but what if he jumped from this reality to another reality, having known that I was going to throw the ball at him. Psychically transmitting his consciousness, his knowledge of this reality where I threw the paper ball at him, and using that to spare himself that event of being hit by the paper ball.
Would imply time travel.
Would it?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, if we're moving between realities, then time becomes fluid, unless all timelines are synchronized.
Well,
You'd
if they are
essentially-
synchronized. Yeah.
You'd essentially just go into a timeline. You'd just need to go into an alternate timeline where this conversation happens, say, 30 seconds later in the day, thus leading to that effective gap where you can then internalize the information you know from those 30 seconds in the future in the alternate timeline, in the original timeline. Oh, this is already starting to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you do bring up a point, but it seems that they can jump big distances. They can jump, minutes, hours, days, years. And then, of course, somewhere in here, there's like it doesn't really make any sense, but apparently there's some sort of weird alien device that just appears out of nowhere and is just explained as aliens. And it's kind of bullshit, in my opinion.
Kind of
but
like the
it's not.
ocarina?
No, it's more like
Ocarina of Aliens.
more like a pod. Like they go into the pod and it sends them to a different time, except it doesn't send them. They stay there and a copy of themselves goes. And it's a physical time travel, but not a mental one.
So I think the question we're all asking for is the letter that comes after X, which is why.
Well, it seems that this timeline in particular is important. And she's got like, a screen that touch screen that she's projecting and moving through. And in this line, there are two figures that have been connected, 4 figures, but like looking at all the dots that I can see, there are 2 figures that are important. This Akane Kurashiki lady and this Junpei Tenmyoji. But we're going to focus on this Akane person because she, in this timeline, a virus is released that causes weird brain chemistry stuff, slows down your perception of time. And on top of that, leads to suicide. You'll go insane and take your own life just out of your paranoia and everything else that comes with it. And in this timeline, Akane set up another timeline where, long story short, she did another experiment where people were put into a somewhat similar scenario where people were put into a life or death situation, and across multiple timelines people died, in the end leading to this final timeline where Akane and other people came back to this incident in some sort of weird, loopy, crazy timeline change way. And reading up on other incidences, this Akane person has set up challenges of life or death situations. And it seems like these reports make it sound like it's for the greater good to stop this villain, to stop, and this tragedy, things like that. But it's happened. And whoever she is, she seems to be the one pulling the strings here.
But if we have all the records, doesn't that mean she's done this already and has either successfully pulled us off, unless we try and go back to before she pulled it off, so we can try and stop her for trying to pull this off?
I mean, in one of these timelines, she's already done it.
You're in the timeline where, I mean, the future stuff didn't happen. The disease wasn't unleashed. This is looking at the order that a timeline where nobody died and everything is okay is the timeline where we seem to be in.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that those other timelines don't exist.
You're right.
I think we need to keep an eye out for this Akane person. Who's
We do have some pictures.
Yeah.
And she starts putting up like pictures. Some of them aren't that fun. They're like, they are pictures of like, dangerous scenes and people being held at gunpoint and other a couple of like a lot of dangerous scenes of things going down. And okay, so if you want to know who that Junpei person is, and brings up a picture that looks he looks like this.
Okay. We'll keep a lookout for a person with violet hair that isn't Fu.
And the Akane
Blue.
lady. Looks like that. You all recognize that second figure.
What? Can you remind us why again? And it couldn't have been a while.
Because that's Lady Zanaik. That's your boss.
Well,
Well,
All right then.
And people are getting sleepy. I think that might be a good place to end.
Okay.
Okay.
we just start staring at this picture.
To be fair, I'm going to tell you right now, all you missed was the loan sharks were going to appear. Oh wait, no, damn it.
No, we're good. We're gonna force you to do part 2.
Yeah, we're going to do that part 2 because I have important things to do that.
Yep. We're down to continue this, my dude. It's just, yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
This is a lot of information to try and internalize.
This is
Yeah.
a lot of info here.
I think I. What the? Oh, yeah, that is from over a year ago.
Also, I might not have been helping what with the corduroy pants and the Janko.
it
Yeah.
happens.
I will say, I've been waiting, like, from the first second you said railroad, I was like, oh, this is going to be a Denliner thing. And then the more we're talking about timelines, I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to have to end up being a Denliner thing. So I've got this sound on file.
Don't worry, that'll happen eventually.
I'm gonna learn about this game.
I will admit I had a hard time keeping track.
The thing is that the funny thing is that the actual zero time dilemma information isn't that important. It was just trying to lead out. I was trying to get to the point where it's like, hey, Akane is not a nice person, and let you parse that on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, no, definitely I got that much. I just a lot of it was dedicated to
me awkwardly explaining the zero time dilemma timeline.
yeah, and I couldn't.
It gets confusing. Even if this
I couldn't exactly keep up.
Yeah,
That's entirely fine. That's
I think in that case, probably should have done a little more showing than telling.
I know.
I think so. Yeah, I think this requires the screenshots on all the timeline stuff that they use for explaining this game, not
Yeah.
just
Yeah, like you could have like.
If you do want
Sorry, go ahead, Luke.
I was going to say, if you do want to kind of run this with an alternative group, because I like the idea of someone using timeline hopping bullshit to basically get around a lot of the safeguards of multiverse stuff. Yeah, I think just kind of showing the actual ramifications of it don't necessarily. It's like explaining time travel and stuff like Looper. It's that case of better to show it in practice than to sit people down and go, right, here's the outline to Primer. Because most people will get through Looper. But yeah,
I'm just looking at the wiki now, looking at the chart here thing, and just this looks.
No, it's dumb. It's.
Talk to you guys later.
yeah.
Later.
Okay,
Take care.